Welcome to session 1. So you should have your training plan with you. In the training plan you'll see that we're going to focus on consistency of your strokes. So we're going to start by just doing a general warm-up, some jogging and some stretching, and then we're going to move into our strokes and just working on the consistency of it.
So for your warm-up, we just want you to do 3 minutes of jogging just to get your heart rate up, and then followed by 7 minutes of stretching just to round out the 10 minutes. Now, you can also look at our Training Secrets Revealed for some ideas on how you can do the warm-up.
So we're going to start with just an on-table warm-up of some forehand counter hitting. So during this warm-up, what you're aiming to do is starting to get the ball in the middle of the racket, just starting to get your hand-eye coordination right, and watching the ball carefully. We're going to do this for 5 minutes. The aim here isn't necessarily to count, but it's just to get the stroke ready and warmed up. Then we're going to move over and do the same thing for 5 minutes on the backhand side. We're now going to start to focus on our consistency, so we're going to see how many times we can keep the ball on the table without making a mistake. A good way of keeping a track of it is using the pingskills consistency chart, and that's available on our website. You can just download that. So as we go through our strokes, we're going to count, see how many times we can do our strokes without a mistake. So now we're going to start on our consistency. So now our focus is on how many hits we can do in a row without a mistake. This is really important in table tennis, to groove the stroke, to make sure that the stroke becomes automatic. The other thing that this will help is your concentration. If you can concentrate long enough to keep 100, 200, 1,000 balls on the table, then your concentration is getting better all the time. So what pace should you do this at? Do it at a pace that's comfortable, that you're going to keep the ball on the table a long time. But as you get better, you can start to increase the pace slowly. Then we're going to do the same thing on the backhand side. Again, focusing on consistency, making sure you're keeping the ball on the table as long as you can. Trying to develop your concentration. Watching the ball. So next we're going to do the forehand push and then the backhand push. So the push strokes are really important because they're one of the 4 basic strokes that you use in table tennis. They're strokes that you need to have developed before you can start to increase your level. For the push strokes, again, you're counting to see how many you can do in a row without a mistake.
So next is the game section
Yep.
of our training plan, which is one of my favourite parts.
Of course, yeah.
What are we going to do?
All right, so
for the time?
Yep, for the games we're going to play games up to 11, but there's a few restrictions.
Okay, what are they?
So you're not allowed to hit the ball hard.
Okay.
And you've got to do flat serves. Okay.
Okay. So we're not allowed to hit the ball hard because we're trying to develop our consistency?
Yep, so I'm going to try and beat you with my consistency, not with my power.
Okay, and we're just talking about counter hit strokes, which is why you're starting with a flat serve, so no side spin or back spin serves.
Yep.
Okay, and can I hit the ball anywhere?
You can hit the ball anywhere on the table.
Just softly.
But I'm going to get them.
Okay, so the most consistent person's going to win.
That's it.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go.
Yes.
Like one.
Yes.
2 up. Two up.
batsman serve.
Sorry, forgot.
No!
Sure. So then we're going to have some normal games.
Okay, yep.
Yep, so normal games are fun and it's what we play for.
It is indeed. And throughout the session, our focus has been consistency.
Yep.
So do we try and think about that a little bit more during these games?
Yeah, I mean, have a bit of focus on your consistency as well. Okay, so perhaps don't think about trying to hit winners all the time. Think about trying to place the ball better like you were during your training session.
Excellent. For all of our sessions in this year-long program, we're going to be using the pingskills training plan template to fill out the contents of what you're going to do. And if you've had a chance to look at this, which you can download from our website, you'll notice that the last section on here is service. Now, this is such a crucial part of the game that it's got its own dedicated section here on this template. So you must practice it every time because it's really going to help you improve. Now, for session 1, we're going to focus on accuracy training. The first thing you're going to need for your service practice is a bucket of balls. Now, we recommend that you get about 50 balls because that way you're just going to be able to serve one after the other. But even if you've only got 10 or 20, that's good enough. Now, for this service practice, we're concentrating on accuracy. So what we need is a target. Now, generally, you can just use a piece of paper, and you can make that piece of paper bigger or smaller depending on your skill level. So obviously a bigger target is easier to hit. Now, when we're focusing on this accuracy, we need to make sure that we're serving to a good spot. So you can either do a short serve where the ball would bounce twice on the table, and if that's the case, you need to get this piece of paper quite close to the net to make sure that when you aim for that target and you hit it, the first bounce hits there and the second bounce stays on the table. Or if you're going to do a long fast serve, you can put the piece of paper deep and you want to put it either so it would go into your opponent's middle or go wide to the corners so it would take them out wide and be hard for them. So once you've done all that, you've completed your session. Now don't forget to record it in the pingskills vault. You'll keep a good record of your training and it'll help you show how far you've come and how much training you've actually done.
So you've now completed the first session. If you train more than once a week, you can just repeat that same session. If you want, you can change the exercises slightly. You also might train for longer or shorter periods of time, so you can just adjust the times that you're training each of the routines. So if you've got any questions about your training session, you can contact us or even better, use the Ask the Coach section.